be testing out two different watercolor sets. The Arteza 36 watercolor set and the Grabie 50 watercolor set. One of these I bought and the other one I got as a gift. The Arteza 36 watercolor set costs about 40 bucks. If you subscribe and save, it's 36 bucks, which comes out to about $1.11 per paint color, plus shipping. I didn't include shipping. They have sets of watercolors also available in sets of 12, kind of like the watercolor confectionery sets, and they got metallic watercolors in a set of 24 you can buy, and you can buy colors individually too. They also have 12 milliliter tubes available in sets of 24 and 60, and they also have a code with Chloe Rose Art to get about, I think it was 10% off. I might be wrong. This is an unopened set, and I have an open set that I use. As you can see, well used because it's what was available to me. It's a metal tin, and I'm messy. I'll be using this to do the Arteza side. The other watercolor set that I'm gonna use is the Grabie 50 watercolor set. This one actually came to me damaged, and I will show you, but I got in contact with Grabie and they said keep it, and they sent me another one that is undamaged, free of charge, which is really cool. And it comes with a paintbrush, a water brush, and a little sponge. And there you can see all 50 colors. It also came with a whole bunch of brushes. Just 3 of them. I lied. There's 5 of them, and they're all varying sizes. That's pretty cool. And a little swatch card, so I'll use that in a bit. So, this set of 50 watercolors costs normally $45.99. Right now, for the holidays, it's going for $32.99, which comes out to about 92 cents normally, or for now, 66 cents per color. They have watercolor sets of 12, 50, and 90, and 100. The 50 and 90 sets have metallics in them. They also have sets like Kuretake, Gansai, Tambi sets, and they also have metallic watercolor sets available in 6, 12, 36, and 40s. Grabie, though, doesn't have tube options or individual pans available, but they do have a code and a special deal with Scott Christian Sava. So to get started, we gotta make an image. Pure and simple. I wanted to do something simple, straight down the middle, that you could see easily both products. So I decided on a wolf head, my basic go-to, which I'm on Instagram if you want to go and see more of that. But basically just make a circle, basic sketch lines, and then I go in with the motherfucking details. Yeah, just my simple go-to. Oh wow, doing this voiceover, I can see all the errors that I've made, and I'm getting mad at myself. Oof, how do people do this? Like, and now since the sketch is done, I print it out, and I'm gonna transfer it. Now that I've got it printed out, I tape it to a light box or a light thing, and I put it on watercolor paper. Fucking look at me go! Hands of lightning. Wow, look at me speed shit up. Yeah, I fixed the sketch a little bit, moved the muzzle around a little bit, so now it'll look a little bit better. Here, all I'm doing is using a kneaded eraser, getting rid of the pencil lines so they're not as dark, and then I'm gonna tape it down to the table. But I'm picky, so I have to measure everything out. Of course, ahead of time. Yeah, split down the middle because I am dumb and I always fuck that up. So, always good to stupid proof things. Tee hee hee. Back of my head is ridiculous. Oh. Yeah. Pretty much all I'm doing here is just taping it to the desk so it won't warp as much. God, I would love some fucking candy right now. Fuck. Whee! Alright, let's move on to motherfucking inking. I used a Micron pen. I believe it's a 005 just to get them thin, small lines. And I always refill my Micron pens because I am cheap. Here I'm using more Canson watercolor paper to test out the differences in these paints, doing small little tests. This one, it looked like there were two different reds of different names that looked very similar, so I wanted to see how closely they were. And turns out they weren't really that similar. So I'm bad at colors, which is bad for my job. I've noticed that Arteza is a lot more darker and more richer of a color than the Grabie ones. More dark and broody, kind of like DC, and Grabie would be Marvel because they're a little bit more vibrant coloring, but they also have like a slight yellow undertone to them. And I've noticed that Grabie is still chalky, like both paints are very chalky, but Grabie a little less so. Grabie also has more color choices, obviously, but Arteza also has like tube options and stuff. Like, I wish that Arteza had like bigger sets. And normally the Arteza sets come with a water brush. I prefer like regular brushes. So that's something I really like about Grabie. They came with actual brushes and detail brushes. Normally I use watercolors as the first layer on an image, and then I use colored pencils, like Prismacolor pencils, on top of them, so I didn't add detail and stuff. If it was my choice between Arteza being DC and Grabie being Marvel, for once I'd pick DC. Like, holy shit. But, yeah, I feel like Arteza is a little easier to mix as well if I'm mixing colors. I've also noticed in watercolors, if you're looking to find problems, it's easier to figure out the problems in red, green, blue, and black. Like, it's easier to spot the problems that you're going to have down the road with those colors. With these tests, I was checking to see how much of the paint comes up with the water, like re-wetting it on the dark side and in the middle. And Arteza actually had more pigment stayed down, so Grabie was easier to pick up with a paper towel and just re-wetting it. Arteza, more of it stayed down, so that's something to look out for. And yes, for those paying attention, I have a very stupid way of changing and dealing with water. I use a shot glass full of water to wash my brush, and then I use another shot glass to take water from a jar, and then back into that shot glass, and I dump the dirty water into an old Powerade bottle. Yeah, and I found that Arteza had far more chalkiness, and the black on Arteza is darker and more richer versus Grabie. Grabie's was kind of, it had like a yellow undertone, just like all of the colors. But you can especially see the chalkiness, especially in that blue. Like, look at it, it's already separating. My God. Yes, for anybody wondering, I have a really long goddamn paintbrush. Don't know why it's so long, I don't even know where I got it. But I've noticed that I kind of like just bite on it and pretend I'm Cruella de Vil or somebody from that time frame and pretend I'm cool for like a second. Yes, the end bit is bitten. Right off the bat, I do not like the plastic in the Grabie containers. It is not my favorite. I also don't like how there's not very many places to be able to mix the colors. Because let's face it, 50 colors, not exactly enough for me because I like mixing colors. Yeah, I just don't. I also don't like how you can't take out the actual individual colors. That also annoys me greatly. Also don't like that the plastic in it is very cheap and very flimsy, so it breaks easy. And I've also noticed that the swatch card is much smaller than Arteza's. Like, I'd prefer a bigger one. I'm flustered because I don't know what else to say about this. I like that it gives you the option of a water brush and a regular brush, but I don't see myself ever using it, maybe. But I see if somebody's new to it, that's actually really cool. Those detail brushes, though, are the shit. I love them. The case is really cool. Again, I just don't like what's inside. I would prefer individual little half pans, but I can see why they went this route because it's fucking cheaper. I also don't like how there's no individual paint color replacements available, so you'd have to buy a whole new set just to get one color. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, we're doing the Arteza side now. Like I said before, the colors come out darker than Grabie's, but in this case, I actually have room to mix like anywhere I damn well please because I'm grown. And then I have individual half pans so I can rearrange them if I choose to. Again, the colors come out darker, so I have to plan kind of ahead. Otherwise, you know, I just kept using the Grabie little detail brush because I'm lazy and it was available. I have my detail brushes somewhere else, but I'm too lazy to go find them. But yeah, this set is only 36 colors, but again, they also have tube options and individual colors for sale. At this point, it's just kind of personal preference if you want darker colors or not. Mixing. Also, what I don't like is that Arteza is more chalky than the Grabie. Grabie is still chalky, but not as bad as Arteza. I'm gonna say it like a million different ways, so because I've only ever seen it written. And now that it's all done, the reveal. Ooh, look at that. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Yeah, I fucked up on the eye. on the Arteza side, but you can see how dark it is compared all that chalkiness on the color that was supposed to be the same as the other one, had the same name. Like, yeah. On the Grabie side, it's more vibrant, but yeah, you can still see the chalkiness, but it's less chalkiness. Oof. And then, yeah. Thanks for sticking with me through this. I'm learning how to public speak, so I figured this might help. Again, it's personal preference at this point whether or not you want Arteza or Grabie, but since they both say premium on the box, figured I'd give them a go. Good luck. Bye.